will now be recorded.
All right, guys, welcome to the weekly watch list. So right here we have S&P 500. So overlooking the long term, we have an established downtrend here, and we hit that 200-day bounce, hit that resistance right here at 29.30, and kind of chopped around, came back down, and then we're popping back up right now, heading towards that 29.3250 area again. And we know that's hard resistance. So we also see that we have this uptrend line here that's also around that area, that 29.3050. So if we go to the 4-hour chart, we can see this pattern a lot more clearly. We can say, we had that hard drop, we hit that 200-day, we bounced up, got resistance at the 29.30, fell back down, made a higher low, came back, tried to test that 29.30 again, then dropped, made a lower low, and then came back to test this low, held that low, and then we're pushing up back to that 29.30 250 again, and that 100-day. So, or the 50-day on the daily, I believe it is going to be, we're at the 100-day right now, and then the day is slightly above at that high of 29.4425. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be pushing up towards that 29.3250, and if we could get above that, then 29.4425 will be tested, and if we get above that 29.4425, then we'll be going towards that 29.75 and 3,000 area. Once we get above that, that's where we'll be going. We do have the downtrend of the channel here right next to that 29.75, so we would be looking for good resistance there. Now, if we do hit this 29.3250 or 29.40 and we get resistance and we ended up falling, breaking down, then we'll come back down and definitely come to this 2800, as that'd be 3 attempts that we cannot get above that 29.30, and we will fall back down, because we've already fallen several times to find more buyers to try to push that, and every time we fall lower and we try to push it and it doesn't happen. So this time we fell here to that 28.23, and now we're gonna try to push that again. If that area wasn't didn't gather enough buyers, then we're gonna fall and go to that 2800, and then try to see if that gathered enough buyers so that we could push on through that 29.30 area, 29.40, 29.30 area. If we do 29.75 and 3,000 will be coming. All right, so that's on ES, S&P 500. So let's go to NQ. So NQ, let's look at a higher time frame first. So again, we're in this rising wedge. We had a fake breakdown and then we recovered, and we're still inside the pattern. So we go to the weekly and see that a little better. So we fake broke down, hit that 50-day, came back in, and then again fake broke down and came back in and held that uptrend. So now we're holding that uptrend and we're holding that weekly support. So if we could get above that 77.35.74, that's bullish. Okay, let's go to daily and check that out. So here we have this downtrend line. After hours, we're above that downtrend line and we're above that weekly support and 100-day moving average, but we need to really clear that 50-day moving average, which has been resistance. We need to clear that in order to be bullish. Once we clear that, we could be bullish to 79.10 and 8,000. Okay, and then essentially test all-time highs. But we need to clear that 50-day. The 50-day has been very, very strong resistance, so we need to clear that 50-day in order to have more potential upside. All right, so looking at the Qs, as that is the brother of NQ, we could see the same. It's right at that 100-day. We need to get it above that, and we need it to clear that 50-day, which is at 188.50. Moreover, we would need it to clear that 189.30 because we can see that's where the downtrend is. So essentially 189.50, once we get above there, we could anticipate us pushing towards that 195 area to test those all-time highs. Now, we are in a downtrend, so we cannot forget that. So since we are in a downtrend, we can't get up to here to this 189.30, 189.40 area, even past it. But if we push and close below this, then we could definitely fall back down and head towards that 200-day. As this uptrend is already broken, and now this downtrend is trying to establish. So we are still in a bear flag pattern. We are consolidating, showing that we're basing. So it's kind of making this bear flag weaker, but it's still in a bear flag pattern. We need to get above this 189.50 area and close above it in order to cancel this bear flag out and signal that the bulls are back in town and they're ready to push up. So until that happens, we got to be very, very cautious, trade small, or be hedged, or if you like, do straddles, so that of whatever direction it goes, you could benefit from. But if it goes sideways, you don't benefit at all. So just be careful with that. I think we went sideways enough. I think that we'll get a move, whether that's to the upside or the downside, very soon. Whether if it's not this week, then definitely next week. We'll definitely have a move. I'm anticipating this week we should have that move. But if we don't get it this week, definitely next week, I'm anticipating that we do have that move. Really feel strong that we have that move this week, but we'll see. All right, so again, above 189.50, we're going to be pushing up towards that 195 area. We're going to go test those all-time highs if we could get above this downtrend. Now, if we can't get above this downtrend and we fall back down, then our major target here is that 176 area of that 200-day moving average. And that's going to probably be 176.50 by the time it happens. But if this continues and we come up here and we get rejected here, we got a lot of room to the downside, and we'll probably be heading towards that 200-day. So we get up to here to 189 and it's rejecting, then I would be anticipating some hedges at least. You would buy some hedges for that 200-day drop and see what happens. All right, so let's take a look at, let's see. Let's go look at Apple here. So looking at a larger time frame, so here's a weekly chart. So we have this downtrend here and we have this uptrend here. Okay, looking closer, we can see that we're above that downtrend. Okay, and if we go to the daily, we could see that we're actually holding that downtrend, and then also on the daily, we have another uptrend on the daily, and we have some strong resistance at 207. As you can see here, strong resistance, strong support. So once we get above that 207, that should be very, very strong. Push to 210, and once we get above that 210, we should be heading towards 215 and then 222, 224. Apple looks really good, as the market was really, really weak last week, and Apple actually held strong, pretty strong. So that's a good sign. It held this downtrend that it broke, and it trend on the daily, and it held above this 203.50 but at the end of the week. So it had trouble getting over it Wednesday, Thursday, but got over it on Friday and held strong. So that could be a nice push to 210, 215, and then essentially 225, 224 area to break this high. And once we do that, we could definitely go to 235 on some good momentum. And that's if the market pushes. If the market really is in an established downtrend and we do have that resistance and it's not going to get through, then we could definitely fall down, and we'll be falling to this 195 area. And if that doesn't hold, this uptrend doesn't hold, then we'll be going to that 185 200-day moving average area. But as of right now, Apple's above all its moving averages on the daily, the 200, the 100, and the 50-day. That's very strong, and it should continue to push higher. All right. Let's look at BABA. So BABA, looking at the long-term chart, we're in this kind of symmetrical triangle, and it's getting super tight. It's getting really, really tight. We have a squeeze forming to the upside. It was to the downside, but then the momentum switched, indicators switched, and the indicators are kind of fighting still here, but all of our other indicators have switched. Go to the daily, we could see that we bounced right off that support, and now we're pushing, and we got above all our moving averages, the 200, the 50, the 100, and we're coming to this resistance here. So this is really good resistance. If this does push, we should get resistance at this 180 area. And if we do have that resistance there, we could anticipate another fall or a nice breakout, as we could see that the buy volume has been increasing, and all of our indicators are very bullish on BABA. So if this breaks out and pushes, we could see 195.50 and then push on to more highs. But this pattern is getting very, very tight. This is one to watch for a breakout to the upside very soon. If not this week, by next week, there should be a pattern that should be set up. Maybe this sets up a cup and handle, and then it fires off. We shall see. All right. All right, Baba. Let's go to LMT. So LMT, very strong still. Lots of buy volume still. So last week said if it broke this breakout, it's going to come and back test this uptrend. It did just that. It hit that first price target. It came back, tested that, and it got above here again. So as long as it stays above 373.37, we should see a nice push towards that 387 and even 395 area, and a continued push to that 400. All right, if it breaks down, then we would fall back to support about 356, and it should hold that area. If it breaks this, it should hold that and maybe consolidate if it does, but I think it continues higher. All right, LMT and NOC. NOC, same concept. It hit that first price target on the weekly and the daily, and then came back tested that breakout, and is trying to push now. So again, if this continues to push, we should see 375, then 380, and if it drops and it loses this breakdown or breakout, then we should definitely see if we catch support at this 338 area, 340 area, and test this uptrend. Right. See Netflix. So Netflix, looking at a larger time frame, we see that we have a nice uptrend and a flat resistance line here. So we're creating an ascending triangle on the monthly chart. We still have a lot of room to go to the sideways, and we're hitting that lower support level here. And if we look at the daily, we can see that, we hit that and then that shot up. So we have a downtrend established. It's at the downtrend now, and it's at that long-term uptrend support. Has a reversal candle, has confirmation, but we need it to break that downtrend. Once it breaks that downtrend, then we should go to 315, and then after that 315, we should go back test that 200-day at 335. Once we do that, that'd be a good sign that we're pushing up to fill this gap most likely at about 360 area. So if we get above that 200 day, chances are we're going to go to 360 to fill those gaps, to fill that large gap that we had on this earnings right here. So anticipate a breakup. If it does break down, then we'll be looking at 270 area. We'll be looking at 270 area, and then 256, 255 area if it breaks down. Okay, but looking at what it's doing, it looks like it's going to hold, and it's going to try to break this and then pop to the upside. All right, let's see. So another stock that we've been following for a while is UTX, and this one's been very choppy. It's been hanging around this 127 for a while, and I've been saying, you know, at this 127, buy 70 days out. You know, buy 3 months out, 2.5 months out, and this is going to push. Well, right here we see that we have a potential double bottom right here from this one that was in July, and then this one today, or this one actually June, and then on Thursday we had that reversal there, and we get above that 200 day, and especially that 127, we should start pushing. I think that it should be a nice push. We have this downtrend here, so we're going to get a push at least to that 127 and back test it, see if it's going to let it pop up above, or if it's going to reject and push down. But I think that it should pop up above and then head to that 333. So we should get a push past that 200 day, and then to that 50 day, and then to that 100 day on UTX. I still think that it's good for long call options for, say, a leap, or even, you know, 3 months out. I think that it'll still be good and it'll still push on through. If you do, just have this as a stop loss, 122. 122 is a stop loss for any long calls, whether that's leaps, whether that's 3 months out, 2.5 months out, 4 months out, whatever that is. Just have 122 as a stop loss. If it breaks 122, you know it's no good. Just walk away from it. Breaks 122, exit in your positions and walk away. But I think it holds, and I think this is a bottom, and I think that pushes up. UTX looks good, and also LMT, NOC, those look good. So RTN is, you know, going in with UTX, so I think that it's going to be a good play for the long term. All right, so those are the things I covered. Again, looking at the market, you know, watch that 2930 area, watch that 2932.50 area, and then that 2944 area. It looks like it wants to push, but we'll see. You know, if it comes back, hits that area, and then decides to drop, we know where it's going. Now, if it pushes, we also know where it's going. The 2975 and 3000. It could consolidate here for a little bit, but this is in a potential rising wedge pattern. Not the cleanest one, but a potential one. So if this hits that resistance and doesn't want to get through, then it's going to end up just breaking down. So if it does break down, then you want to add puts below 2910. And your first target is going to be this 2867. Then your next target is going to be 2823, and then your next target is going to be 2800. Now if it pops up, you know, your target is going to be 2944, then 2975, then 3000. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed the watch list, and I hope it benefits you. I hope it makes some good money.